Good morning, everyone. Starting a little bit early this morning because we have CPI coming out. And I really I don't know how I did, but I kind of did not go over that yesterday. And so the reason why CPI is really, really important today more than usual is that it may indicate signs of inflation, and it may show how the Fed may react. That's one of the reasons why the markets may be a little jittery over the last week and a half or so, 2 weeks, week and a half. Why our currency markets are a little bit wobbly. So it's one of the reasons why yesterday I was like, let's just kind of hang out and pay special attention to areas. And, I did put in another trade later on in the morning, short and a long idea on the euro. I didn't get to put more explanation in it. I kind of got a little bogged down with some other work. So what are we going to look out for? I'm flat. I'm sitting on my positions, all those shorts that I was holding in the New Zealand dollar, Aussie dollar, euro. That was it. That's the extent of what I was holding. So I'm flat on my positions because the news today is going to be pretty volatile, and that's going to be coming up in 13 minutes. So while we wait for that, I did want to go over cryptos real quick. All right. The big thing today is the CPI. Again, the CPI is it's like a basket of things that consumers can purchase, and that's what it's rated against. How is there an increase in the cost of these goods and services? In a nutshell, I'm not really the best at explaining it, but I remember in Accounting 101 or Economics 101, that's what you learn about CPI. Okay. As I sit down. Cryptos. I want to take a look at this here. Ooh, I want to put this in here. Litecoin. I was talking about Litecoin, I believe yesterday. I do a couple educational things, so forgive me if I'm repeating this, but Litecoin, it's above using the Ichimoku here. The blue here is the 8-hour Ichimoku cloud, the Kumo cloud. The kind of orangish yellowish, that is the 4-hour, and then the red and green here, that's the 1-hour. When price is trading inside of that, that's in a squeeze, kind of like a Bollinger Band squeeze. But in this case, this is what's really great about the Ichimoku system is you get a lot of things going on that you can see all at once in one. I mean, it's a trading system, but it's also an indicator. So we have a lot of activity going on. And so we've known that this is going to break out soon with the bias to the top because, we've been trading above this area. I mean, we haven't really traded above both of these in forever. I mean, well, not forever, but ever since we had our breakdown. So we have a legit breakout happening in Litecoin. So how does that affect the rest of our cryptocurrencies? Well, again, I consider I have the majors, I call them, in cryptos are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And I call them the majors because they're on Coinbase, and that's the largest exchange where you can convert your cryptos back into US dollars or Canadian dollars or wherever you do that. At least here in the US, that's the largest provider of that. And Coinbase is a big player in the crypto sphere, and so that's why I call these majors. I know Bitcoin Cash is also on there, but it just the way it moves and the nature of it, I personally don't consider it one of the majors just because it's on Coinbase. It's just one of those things. Okay, now let's look at Ethereum and what it's doing. Ethereum has broken above the 1 and 4 hour. It's in the 8 hour, but it's trending pretty heavily. So Litecoin, essentially, if you want to know what's going to happen maybe in the future, look at all three coins. Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Because even though Bitcoin is kind of like the SPY, the ES, it's like almost like the ETF of all cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. The other two coins, Litecoin and Ethereum, can kind of give a heads up of what is happening, what may happen. So right now, Litecoin is leading the breakout of this area. Ethereum is following suit. It's got, if you look at the charts, I mean, we've got similar structure in these charts. Obviously with Litecoin rallying up significantly. Now Bitcoin is doing the same thing. Bitcoin's above its 4 hour, it's above its 1 hour, it's into the 8 hour. It's got to really get past this 9,300 area. But I'll tell you what, when we scroll back and we go, here was our all-time high. Scroll back over here. Never mind, I know I can't even see price very well here, but I just want you to take a look at the right side of the screen. Look at the volume profile. Look at these troughs. Well, they're troughs, volume deserts, I call them. These high volume nodes in the volume profile. That means that it's easier once price gets sucked into these price zones, okay? It's easy to trade above. It's easy to move from here to here. We don't look like we're going to face a lot of resistance in here. We should at 10,000. Technically, we kind of should at 10,000, but there's not a lot of volume traded there. Really, oddly, there's not. So just keep that in mind. You know, looking at this from this perspective, yesterday when we were talking about these, there's about 3 trend lines that Bitcoin had to get past, and it did. We're past those trend lines. We are moving up into this confluence zone. Oops. Adjust. And so we're looking at price to rise up over to here. We want it to get above this obvious 10,000 zone, that 50% area, which it should find it fairly... I mean, I don't want to say it's going to be easy to get through, but there should be a lot of momentum behind it to push it that direction. So keep your eyes on that. Again, we got 7 minutes until CPI, so let's keep our eyes open there. Another peek at Litecoin. I've been watching it. I've been up a while. I've been watching these moves, and my wife came down. Sometimes she does not get up as early as I do. This was a heart, but it says I love you, and it's strawberry Rice Krispie treats. A big strawberry Rice Krispie treat, and I thought it was weird if she asked me if I like strawberry Rice Krispie treats. I did not catch on to that. It looked like a heart. It's very sweet. Wives are awesome. I have one wife. So now I gotta one up her today, which I'm going to. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day and happy 14th of February, and happy Wednesday. So, let's take a peek. You know, I'm gonna go back to the daily here. That is 11 days, isn't it? Let me, should we go to 45? So that's 45. Wait. 11. Cool. All right. Yeah, that is a healthy move on Litecoin, man. 27.37%. I'm happy with that move because out of all the majors, that's the one I've been accumulating the most of. What are the reasons behind this? Well, the time cycles that we followed prior to this move, we knew that prices were going to reverse. We knew ahead of time. But what's people always look for a fundamental reason. I always used to look for a fundamental reason, but that really doesn't matter to me. What is causing this big shift up from a fundamental standpoint? Oh man, my neck is tight. Is that Litecoin Pay is coming out soon, like in 2 weeks. Light Pay, I believe it's called. Oops. There we go. Yep, so Light Pay is coming out February 26th, so 12 days away. And it is crazy. We've got 3 minutes till CPI, but Light Pay is pretty awesome. It mainstreams cryptocurrencies because Litecoin's blockchain is the fastest. It's the most efficient. It's 60% of all. Litecoin is a hard fork of Bitcoin, but it's a very upgraded blockchain. It's very fast. What I mean by its mainstream cryptocurrencies is that there's a problem with cryptocurrencies in regular transactions. Is that, let's say I want to buy a car. All right, I want to buy a car and I want to buy it for 20 Litecoin, and Litecoin's worth $1,000 a coin. Hypothetically, it will get there, but hypothetically, I call the dealership and I say, yeah, can I pay in Litecoin? They say sure, and I say, well, I'll give you 20 Litecoin because they're $1,000, and they say sure. So you go to the dealership the next day, but then Litecoin's only worth $700 the next day. How do you do that? Well, with Litecoin card, which is compatible with Visa, big deal, big deal. The transaction and the cost and the conversion is done automatically or instantly. There's no waiting. It's just done. The conversion rate is enacted at the point of sale. So this is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. I'm definitely gonna get one of these. That is just fascinating. Now, BitPay, we got 1 minute. BitPay is a coin, but it's also a service, and they refuse to do Litecoin. So LitePay has come out with their own system, and that is huge. Yeah, so let's look at what we've got going on here. What are we looking at in our currencies? I want to go back to look at. Okay, so the dollar yen is way down. All right. We're finding a little support on this angle here, and we're just below this structure, but okay, CPI is out. Looks like the dollar yen caught a little bit of a bid there. If the CPI is bad, how much of the price move is already figured into the currency? Okay, the euro taking a bit of a dive there. Aussie dollar ooh, oh man, that got hit hard. Gee whiz. So let's see what is happening. CPI 1.8. So, I mean, that's a number that is probably going to signal some yeah, that's going to signal we're getting some pain on people in their longs in the euro and the Aussie dollar and a lot of these inverse pairs. Be interesting. It will be interesting to see what happens with our dollar pair. Again, kind of want to be flat here. I'm just checking out this news again on my phone at least. Because it's important. Let's see. That's not really saying much. Did kind of start early here just because of all this news, all these news breaks on this, the big issues we've got going on. Dollar yen. I mean, if we can get back into the structure, I'm willing to go long there. It's just a good area to do that. See the Aussie dollars taking a bit of a dive further. Yep. We want to watch the Aussie dollar, see if it breaks this structure. Days like this, I don't trade. Well, I trade them. I just wait. So it's good just to kind of hang out. Let's see what our dollar yen pair does on this news. I'm thinking it will be maybe catching more of a bid here, moving up nicely. Euro broke down this angle here, so let's watch, see what happens. I mean, again, so looking at this screen, forget the CPI for a second. Why did we have a short bias after this rise? Well, we're looking at the square here. All right, this is our square. This diamond is a square, and we're looking at price coming up to it. This line, see again, Gann's theory is that time is the catalyst for all price movement. That time rules everything, and that time is the master of price movement, and that everything else is just a response to time. And so price moved up, came down to this level. I know when we've drawn up another fib level that this is like the 0.5 area, no, 0.68, 61, whatever it is. But we know that this structure is naturally very resistive. And so it takes a lot to move price above that zone. I mean, also, if we just look at it between the swings here, the swing high and the swing low, where did price stop? Just a little below the 0.618 area, which is also our larger Gann square of 144, the lighter gray angles. That is our 50% retracement zone, and so a lot of resistance there in general. Even if I mean it's just naturally resistive, and again, this is such a trap move, is when you know you have big moves, big news coming out like this, and the odds are it's going to be bullish for the dollar. Then it's like, well, why are these things rising in price against the dollar on the news. A lot of reasons why, but I mean, it makes for a great short opportunity ultimately. You catch a lot of people buying in on that rise up when we know to have a short bias there. I mean, it could change directions, but I mean, it's a pretty stiff move. It's a pretty swift move too. I mean, so what's the DXY doing? Oh yeah, wow, the DXY really shot up there nicely. And so we're probably going to see some interest rate raises. Hold that thought. I gotta grab some ibuprofen real quick. My neck is killing me. I think I pulled it too much at the gym, so I'll be right back. A little weird, I know. Oi. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Okay. Gold, bit of a dive. Euro still exhibiting weakness there. UJ wanting to rise up a little bit. Man, Aussie dollar just taking it. Man. Sometimes you see pullbacks on these moves, but UJ's really having the hardest time moving out of this area, and the dollar index continue to shoot up. Yeah, just checking out some news here. Futures sync as CPI data raises inflation fears. Gasoline rents seen lifting U.S. monthly CPI annual rates too slow. Market on its toes for an inflation report that could change everything. Well, that was old. Keep an eye out here. Yeah, that dollar index, I mean, it's really gold coming down. Here, let's look at it from our Forex lens. UJ really struggling to want to move, and the Aussie dollar really, man, it is, that is a big dive. Wow. Euro even, I'm surprised at this sustained shift here. That's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Man, that Aussie dollar is just really low. Man, UJ, I mean, we could catch a nice long here, but I mean, it's really. What's this look like on a 5-minute chart? Okay. Big jump there over 5 minutes. We're retracing. Let's see what happens. You know, if UJ breaks this high of 107.57 and then gets above 107.95, that's going to be quite the. There's a lot of people trying to pile in the shorts there. Man, oh man. There is a real desire to push it down. What am I looking at here? Gosh, I'm trying to find some more info. Euro climbing up a little bit there. Aussie dollar still way down. What's UCAD kind of hovering there. Pound dollar not doing much. Euro pound doesn't seem to care. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. I'm surprised at that. US dollar, Swiss franc, nothing. We'll just keep watching this here. Let's see how the cryptocurrencies respond to that. Not much. I mean, really, we've been looking at cryptos like operating at the inverse of the dollar, but it just seems to be catching a higher bid. Man, Litecoin is just really on a tear. Man, that is so awesome. Ethereum is a little bit of a struggle there, it looks like. Bitcoin. Yeah, Ethereum seems to be the laggard here. I mean, so really in the strength of like sentiment with cryptos, we had to look at Bitcoin strength number 1, Ethereum strength number 2, Litecoin sitting in somewhere else. But now Litecoin's a strong contender for number 2 and probably close to number 1. I mean, you think about this for a second, as we're still looking at currencies and looking for things to settle down a little bit, is that one of the main issues with cryptocurrencies is not just the volatility and how the value shifts, but it's the conversion rate at a point of sale. So that has essentially been dealt with. Litecoin is faster, it's more efficient, it's cheaper, and so I mean we can really look at more wide mainstream adoption of Litecoin over Bitcoin currently. Now, looking at further fundamentals, that means that the Bitcoin folks have to compete. Their blockchain network sucks. It's slow, it's ponderous, it's stupid expensive. They need to upgrade it to the Lightning network, which they're doing here soon, they said. So we got to keep on the lookout for that. I'm still trying to find some more updates of sorts, but not really getting much here. That's all right. Dollar yen continuing to show weakness there. The euro kind of catching a little bit of a bid. Aussie dollar not. Although the US Canadian dollar, that's going to be hard on oil. Not hard on oil, rather. Yep, we'll want to jump in here eventually. Like to let things settle down for that first half hour before we have a bias. You know, the bias is down, but I'm looking at long areas on the dollar yen. Could have a nice long setup forming here. Let's look at it from this. Oops. From this angle, UJ. So bouncing off that greater angle, we really and we're still finding support. Come on, Trading View. They take forever solidifying that. We've got support there around. Yeah, we've got a lot of support down here. It looks like. Let me just kind of zoom it in a little bit. Yeah, I got a lot of buying here so far. Really, if we can get back into this zone, if we can get back above here, that's going to be pretty. There's going to be a lot of people short that are going to cause a big short rally. And again, a short rally is when it's like a domino effect. Like everybody's short here, and then his price moves up. It's the opposite of what happens when there's a sell-off. But short rallies are typically fueled heavily, and so it's just people who are short, they end up having to become buyers along with people wanting to buy on the way up. So it's short rallies are fun. They're exciting if you can get into them. They're really big. Yeah, let's see how these pan out. You know, we're finding some natural resistance around the 123 area, but we should treat this angle. I'm gonna do something I don't like doing, but I'm gonna take a fib off of these levels here and couple short areas. Pullbacks to those zones at 1.234 and 1.228. Those are going to be good zones. All right, UJ. Really anywhere between 106.8. And 107.3 really. Okay. Aussie dollar. Okay, now this arc here, we should expect a little bit of support here, and maybe a little bounce back here. But let's wait and see what happens with our currencies. Let's see how price is going to respond. Man, the futures, they are red. What is? I always like to watch Fox Business. These are fun days. I know we don't have a lot of trading going on, but we got to watch how these work.
And where it was going to come in. So the computers are going to push the market. It's the humans that are going to step in.
So, I'll put that on mute. Down 1% on the Dow, 113 on the S&P, and 122 on the Nasdaq. We can kind of see that on my screen here. These are delayed futures. I should have my futures broker up, but man, I don't trade futures much these days. Aussie dollar continuing to fall. UJ catching a bid. Euro finding some weakness again. New Zealand dollar. Yeah, we're getting some good setups here. but our biggest opportunity is going to be in this dollar yen pair. That's going to be our biggest kind of look at where's the most reward for our risk, and that's going to be the upside on UJ. So that's why I'm looking at it so often. Dollar index has a nice bid up there. Let's go back to cryptos. Gosh, 37% on Litecoin now, man. And I want to talk about this too, because cryptos coincide with currencies more importantly than anything else. And cryptocurrencies, there's going to be a flight of capital from traditional markets, traditional investment and trading markets into cryptocurrencies here in the future, especially if we get a lot of inflation and uncertainty. So this is not normal behavior, but gold is going down, but the regular market is going down as well. So, I mean, this is just a short-term analysis, but really looking at it on a broad term, there's going to be a lot more money going into cryptocurrencies for security, because they're not tied to any nation's debt. They're not tied to any debt. Cryptos are a debt-free class. That's good. You can take them anywhere with you. What are you going to do with your gold? Going to walk around with that? You're just holding it for the next guy to come and take it from you. You're going to walk around. I mean, you could walk around with silver. You could buy things with silver. That's fine. But I've said it before. I mean, what am I going to do with a bar of gold? Am I going to go to the Shell gas station and fill up my Tundra? I'm going to break off a piece of like a pirate, break off a piece of gold, and then give it to him for a gallon? No. Could do that with silver. Can't do that with gold. But nobody can rob your cryptocurrencies. Okay, I know that things have been hacked, but if you have like a paper code memorized, or if you have it on your own like really hidden thumb drive, or even in cold storage somewhere, nobody else can access it but you. It's almost it's just almost impossible to get. Okay. Aussie dollar continuing to show weakness. UJ, it's crawling up a little bit. Let's see what's going to happen here. That's a pretty bullish signal for me. Aussie dollar. Let's see what happens when we break this low here. Nice moves, nice moves. Trying to get another update on our movers, but not getting a lot of info. That's all right though. Cool. All right. Yeah, man, that is tanking big. And we knew that was extended. If we look at this from our to this perspective, where did price get halted? 78.90. Like to the T, price got halted. And I tell you what, that price, I want to get back short in the Aussie dollar, but I only want to get back in short at a pullback to the 78.09 area. We could maybe say halfway, actually probably right here with our risk above there, because we'll have a lot more further down movement. So 77.90. That's going to be a good area. What's the bulk of this move? Where's our 50% retracements up there? Yeah, we've got some. It is really extended on the hourly. UNCUT. Man, I wish I would have held my longs. Bet everybody does. But we had some. This ended up being a nice trade. Dang it. You always get frustrated with the ones you lose. UJ catching a bid here. We got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in this candlestick, and we are going to close fairly neutral probably. A half hour after this big move. Pound dollar. That's a slow mover here. Now this angle, this Gann angle, I want to say, is that our 45 in that square? I can't even tell. By God, it is. Oh yeah, dudes, I don't know how I missed that, but yeah, that is a forming short opportunity, a long-term short opportunity. I mean, we've had long-term short opportunities over here, and we've had phenomenal trades over the last week and a half with the euro dollar, the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar. We've had great trades on these, but we really want to see a breakdown from this level. Oh yeah, if we go like this, because that was our 618 retracement up there. Yeah, from that swing too, we were up against that 618 golden ratio. So yeah, breaking down below this angle, awesome. That is a great short setup. Looking at the weekly, I mean, we are primed for another move down on the weekly. Let's go back to our hourly. Observe how these Gann angles, how important they are. Look how much struggle there is in price trying to maintain that area. This should show you the importance of, well, not show you. And this is another example of the importance of using Gann analysis and using these squares and these angles. Because this area right here is very, very resistive. Well, supportive above it, resistive below it. But this 45, this downtrending 45, that is a signal of where we are more than likely going to be going here soon. UJ coming up on the last 2 minutes here. It'd be weird if we had some type of rug pull to the opposite direction, but we'll see. And the Aussie dollar, we're kind of getting up to our pullback zone here. Looking at all of these. We could revert to some long bias maybe eventually, but for right now, this is strong selling pressure off this news, and yeah, that's a struggle. Look at this. Almost no volume in there. So if price gets back above 123.15, it should get sucked up back in there, but then it should be a pretty nice move back down. It's fun to watch these candles form. Where's my news stuff? Nada. Keep moving, Euro, keep moving. Right on that angle, right on that psychological level of 123. So that's a hard nut to crack for right now. Okay, we closed below this angle. UJ, same issue. We closed above this angle. Now let's see where the conviction is. Aussie dollar came back a little bit there. Let's see, what are we doing? Let's watch what these do. Not getting a clear sign either way. Now the gold buy there, that's an interesting move. Equities continuing to show a lot of weakness. 83, down 0.83, almost down 0.1 in all the futures actually.
Going up. That
10-year yield at 2.87. What did it gain a basis point or two? I don't even know what it was at. Crypto. Let's look at what we got going on. The Bitcoin dollar. Here we are. Oh, that's bullish. I didn't expect it to do that today. Maybe it won't, but you know, we're nice. We're on this We're on this angle. It's a very good angle. Want to try and break above this one. That's what we'd like to do. Litecoin, again, really that confluence of time and price there. huge important area. Ethereum. So we might get a little Ethereum while there. I mean, Ethereum's having a little bit of a pressure. That's interesting. We'll see how tired these moves get as we go on. We should expect some type of pullback in Litecoin and mainly Litecoin. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin here. But yeah, we've got breakout levels happening, and we should look forward to those kind of things to continue. Let's watch for pullbacks in the euro back to this angle before we want to go short again. Or if we do break above this angle, I'm looking to wait. So yeah, like yesterday, today, CPI, I mean, it's a difficult day to trade, and I preferred not to participate in it a lot. But we do have a couple setups for trend continuation, and we should look forward to those kind of setups. Looking at UJs right here. Euro dollar, man, it's just sitting on that line. It's 123 area. It does not want to go below it very, very easily. There's a lot of support structure below it too, at like 122.44. But you know, again, on the long term corrective move, we're looking at that 120 to 117 area in the euro. So keep our eyes out on that. But on the dollar yen, it looks like, I mean, we're getting a lot weaker here. I'll have to see what happens. The dollar index is still doing pretty good. Gold catching a bid. Yeah, just a lot of things all over the place. It's not my favorite trading environment. Get some profit taking in on these pairs up here. So elevated levels, you know, as we're getting into the U.S. session and people coming back from lunch in the London session, or they're already back, maybe. Let's just keep our eye out, all right? That's going to be the limit of the trades. If I see something else going on during the day, I'll put it in the trade ideas. But for right now, let's play it safe, preserve our capital, keep our powder dry. No sense in taking trades that we can't see very clearly, all right? Anyways, hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Have a great Valentine's Day. Spend some time with your significant others. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.